I don't know. But everything looks.
There's an error code, so you should tell them the error code.
Yeah. Let's see if I can. If you're just joining, I'm gonna try to change the bit rate a little bit. I'm not sure. Let's see if we can change the bit rate a little bit and see if that'll help. Um, 60 frames looks good. Okay. If you're just joining us, the show's RP Grinders. We have not started. Just waiting on a break to get on in, and then we'll get started with the show proper. Of course, lots to talk about on the show today. A little bit of news, not a ton, but we still got some. What else? I'll tell you guys what we got in a minute. I wonder if you can still listen. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I think we're good there. I wonder, can you check YouTube and see if we're live on YouTube, Eric? Looks like Twitch is still having some issues. I took down the bit rate a little bit. Looks like it's still having problemos. So, do apologize about that. I really don't know what else to do. It was working earlier, all that.
Nothing's showing up in my subscription feed.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Well, just go. Oh, here, I'll do it. YouTube. Hang on one second. Yeah, it looks like took down the bit rate a little bit. Looks like it's is working on YouTube. So that's a good thing. We got that going. So the video's on YouTube apparently, but the chat, I got both chats open in YouTube and on Twitch.
So I don't know why it wasn't in my sub feed, but it seems to be working.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Twitch. It was working earlier. Now it's not. So, what do I do? I don't know what to do with that. But I took down the bit rate, all that fun stuff. But Twitch is just having issues, and I really don't. Error 1000. Twitch error 1000. Let's see if I can figure that out. There's a fix here, but let me see what the fix. Oh, it might be a Chrome error. Okay, so if I update Chrome, I might be able to fix this, but how do I update Chrome? Okay, here we go. No, it's up to date. Looks like it's up to date, and all that good fun stuff. So I don't know what Twitch's issue. I had YouTube off and Twitch was working, but it was also working with YouTube on. So I think it's just a picky Twitch issue. I'll have to figure it out at some point. But I did work on it, and it is what it is. So I don't know what to do about it. Just keep the Twitch chat open, or you can go into the YouTube chat, and I have that open as well. Like I said, we're just waiting on Breakman. If you're just joining us, the show's RP Grinders. This is Frank. I'm on with Eric, and we're just waiting for Break to get on in, and should be a pretty good time. Quick preview of the show. We got just a tiny bit of news. A lot of homie discounts this week. Eric's got some reviews. I have a review of a movie. I have a Heiscapade this week.
Oh, yeah, there's one more I forgot to add. Let me fix it.
Of course, we have our Stinkos and Sweetos, etc. Free for All is going to be about an upcoming documentary. If it's not out already, it's called Plandemic. Don't bother watching the dumb quote-unquote documentary. You said you had another news story, Eric?
No, another review.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Um, but you guys gonna want to join us this time? We've got quite a bit going on here. Just like I said, waiting on break. Let's see. Let me know. Okay, I sent a message to Break. Hopefully, he'll let me know when he gets on in. As you can hear the birds and shit outside my window on a overcast, humid day in Denver. It's hardly ever humid. I was talking with Eric. It's been rather humid here. Lots of ambulances. I guess it's to be expected. Like, my area is really hard hit with the COVID bullshit going on.
Well, I normally hear ambulances in Geneva, so that's nothing new.
Not at the rate that I'm hearing them here. It's new to me. Lot more frequent, man. At night, every 10 minutes, there's an ambulance going by, basically, roughly. So, I mean, I know it's still busy. I was looking at the COVID numbers.
Did see a few chuds outside, and they're kids not wearing masks.
Yeah. I was looking at the latest COVID numbers, and it looked like for a short period last week, the numbers went down a little bit. But I think with reopening, the states that are reopening, those numbers are creeping back up to where they were at the peak of this pandemic. So we're not out of the woods just yet. If you're just joining, the show's RP Grinders. This is Frank. I'm on with Eric. Just waiting for Break to get on in. And, we'll go from there. We're going to have a good show. If you're trying to listen on Twitch, Twitch is having some video issues, maybe some audio issues too. So keep that chat open. Head on over to YouTube, search RP Grinders, and you'll see us there. I also have that. Chat open as well. So, we should be in good shape here. What else was I going to tell y'all? I don't know. We're going to have a lot of fun today, I think. And, it is what it is. I really appreciate you listening on the archives or wherever you're listening. It's one of those deals. Waiting on Break, man, and then we will get started proper. A little bit of pandemic talk today. We're going to be talking about the ghost of... I don't know how to say this, Eric. I've heard different ways of pronouncing Ghost of Tsushima. But there's different pronunciations, like Tsushima.
No, there's only one pronunciation. Everybody else just can't get it right.
No, they say Tsushima, and that's not it, because I watched the video.
The way they pronounce it there is how you're supposed to pronounce it.
I watched the video of the developers, and he said something like Tsushima.
Yeah, that's something you can't control, though. I mean, like, people are going to do what they're going to do.
No, I understand, but I try to get it correct.
If they're incapable, they'll do a facsimile.
Look, I try to get it correct, Eric.
Because, some people's brains just don't work right, and can't say things right.
Well, it's not that they don't work right. It's just that we're so
used.
And
then some other people are lazy.
We're so used to the English.
Do what works with them.
We're so used to the English language being as difficult as the English language is, that we pronounce things the way that an English person.
Supposed to roll off the tongue.
Eric, let me finish. Let me finish my sentence here. I understand what you're saying. Just give me a second here. But we pronounce things the English way, which is always the hardest way. And Tsushima seems to be the hardest way to pronounce it when it's something like Tsushima.
That's because English's rules contradict each other a lot of
times. They do. Absolutely. You're 100% correct.
It's like I before E except after C. No, that's almost never correct, in fact.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good example. But that's the English.
You can pronounce one thing that's spelled a certain way, and
that's
the other. You have to pronounce it completely different, even though it's spelled the same.
Yeah, it's kind of the English way, though, that everything has to be, more difficult than what it really should. that's just how it is. But the guy said
And with Japanese, if you were to literally translate it, it would sound like gobbledygook, but because the nuance of Japanese language is that you don't need prepositional phrases because they're usually implied.
Right. But we're so dumb in this country, we don't know implications. You know what I'm saying, Eric? But
Which is why getting your kanji right is very important, and learning Japanese for Japanese people is even hard.
Yeah. It's a lot easier than learning English, I can tell you that much.
Well, you're more likely to learn Japanese living in Japan as a Japanese person.
Anyways,
than being in America and being a dumbass motherfucker doesn't know anything about conjugations.
Yeah.
Which is why you get double negatives.
Yeah, exactly.
Ain't nothing I can't do.
The closest I can come to pronouncing it correctly, it's Tutsima, not Tsushima, as most people are calling it.
It is, because Su is the syllable.
Tutsima.
It's Tsushima.
Well, the developer says otherwise, Eric. I'm going with what the developer said. Well, they're idiots that made the game, and they know what their game is called.
Yeah,
so
but if you're using Japanese phonetics, there's a syllable, which is Su, and that's how it's spelled out.
Eric.
And the word doesn't sound like it's like it doesn't sound like it was an invented word.
No, it's not an invented word, but I wished I knew the pronunciation of it for reals. Like we can end this debate here and now, but I'm gonna go with what the developer said. It's Tutsima, is the closest that I can gather.
It does not sound right at all. Knowing what I know of Japanese,
it sounds better than Tsushima, which is what everybody's been saying, and is the incorrect version.
It's Tsushima, not Tsushima.
Tsushima. That still doesn't sound right to me. The way he said it sounded.
That's how you do it. Like Hiroshima, not Hiroshima. It's Hiroshima.
Eric, I'm going by what the developer said. He said Tutsima.
But he's fucking American.
Or no, he's not. It was the guy from Sucker Punch, like the lead guy from Sucker Punch.
Is that an American team?
No. I'm going with what he said. He said something, but he said it real quickly, so there could be a little difference there. I'll watch the video again, and I'll let you guys know. We'll have this debate a little bit later. Breakman should be here soon. We haven't started the show proper. If you're just joining, the show's RP Grinders. We're discussing the pronunciation of the game that's coming out that most people are calling Tsushima.
Certain ways.
But there's a different way of saying it, and it's something to the effect of Tutsima or something like that. Tutsima. But I will listen to that video again, and we'll clear that up next show, I promise. But Eric is right. Like there's a lot of contradictions in the English language. It's one of the hardest languages to learn, and to understand and know all the nuances. But as Americans, we think that every other language is the hardest language ever because we're so used to like overthinking our language that every other language doesn't make sense. So I do like the way the Japanese language, like what you were saying, Eric, kind of rolls off your tongue.
I mean, the way he might be saying it could be. This is just very possible that he's using a specific Japanese accent when he says it.
That's a possibility. I don't know.
That's the only explanation I can use.
Proper way to say.
Because there is accents in the Japanese language. Like various places of Kansai versus Johto.
Okay, regions. Here we go. Here's the proper way, Eric. I'm gonna play this video. It's a minute long. After this stupid commercial here. Let's see. Well, here we go.
Tsushima, Japan.
Tsushima. Huh. Well, there you go. That was just from YouTube though, so don't take that with
It's supposed to be pronunciation video, right?
Yeah, it was a pronunciation video from YouTube. But how do you spell Tsushima or Tsushima or whatever the fuck we're trying to say? T-S.
TSUSHIMA.
Okay, cool. All right, let's see. Let's get Break on in. Okay. Let's ask Eric. Don't say anything, but I'm going to ask Eric to, or I'm going to ask Break to pronounce it and see how he pronounces it. I'll put the word into chat and see if he can see how he pronounces it. All right. Let's see. Breakman, do we have you?
Is it working?
Yes, it's working. Sweet.
Okay, finally.
Right on. Break, look into the chat. I want you to pronounce this word that I'm going to put in there because Eric and I are having a debate.
Supercalifragilistic.
No, it's
All right,
not even a word.
I'm going to put it into the Twitch chat. Here you go. Here it is. Pronounce that word for me.
Tsushima?
Okay, that's how everybody's pronouncing it, but apparently there's...
You get it wrong.
There's...
Break. And I knew you'd do that.
No,
you're like most people.
Yeah, he's saying it like I would say it and how every normal American would say it, but there's a
Nobody says Kojima, it's Kojima.
Kojima?
Yeah.
Kojima. Like Gojira. How would you say that, Eric? Gojira. Gojira?
Gojira, yeah.
Yeah. But there's... Okay, you know that game that's coming out, Break, Ghost of Tsushima or whatever the fuck it is?
That. Yeah,
okay. We say it... Like, I've been saying it how you've been saying it, right? To Tsushima, right? But it's actually pronounced differently, and the developer had a different pronunciation that I never heard before. It's like Tutsima, which is weird to hear, but, you know, they would probably know better than I would. But Eric and I were just talking about how weird the English language is.
I offered the point that it might be a contention of dialect.
Yeah, it might be like how a Southerner would say something as opposed to, I don't know, somebody from New York.
Or that combined with his own accent.
Yeah, something of that nature. Okay, you guys ready to start the show? We don't have a lot of news, so we can just get into it.
So.
All right, let's do this. How you doing, Break, by the way, before we get started?
I'm all right.
All right, cool. Right on. All right, here we go. If I can get my shit together, then, you know, we might start the show proper here. And welcome everybody to RP Grinders episode 591. I'm your host Frank Branches alongside my trusty cohorts Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, we've survived another week. How are you?
Well, not if the government has anything to say about it.
Ooh, we're going to get into that, Breakman. How's that $1,200 working out for you so far, Break? You doing all right?
I'm still waiting for it.
Oh, you still haven't received it yet. Oh, that's nifty and nice. Does your last name start with a Z or something? Maybe that's.
Well, they did say you could be waiting until like July. So.
Oh yeah, I mean we'll all be dead by then, but yeah, that's cool.
I checked the website and it said it's going to be mailing out on the 15th today, actually. So I should get it soon.
Oh, so you got a paper check, not a direct deposit type deal. Yeah,
there were issues.
I wonder if I got mine earlier than Break because I work for an essential business.
Well, maybe.
Did you give direct deposit?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why you got yours early. Mine was because I was having issues with direct deposit and their website wasn't taking my routing information, whatever. You know.
Yeah, I got the $1,200, but it went directly to my back child support, which I
Right.
detailed last week. Which, like I said last week, I'm actually glad of that. You know, I don't mind that at all. But it's kind of shitty that
They
the
could've
government to just
asked.
yeah, the government can just do that. You know, it's just kind of
Yeah.
weird. But whatever. Um,
Your
well,
lot of
money, but
shit the
they're
government
dictating
does.
they're going to use it.
yeah, I mean, what sense does it make? Let's say, I mean, I'm in a special situation here. Like, I don't work. You know, obviously Bernie works, and I've got another tiny source of income that I've been kind of, you know, getting by on and stuff like that. But
He's selling super weed, isn't he?
yeah, right. No, but how fucked up is
Calling
it? Like,
Varanus.
let's say I was working and I was behind a little bit on my, which I'm not a huge, you know, I don't have a ton of money that I don't want people to think I'm a piece of shit not paying my fucking child support, because I am. But let's say I was really working and, you know, having a hard time, and that $1,200 didn't go to me. Like, how the fuck are you supposed to continue on and, you know, stuff like that if you can't even get the money to survive? You know, I mean, like I said, I'm very lucky, you know, in my situation. But, you know, Wyland says he's listening on his drive back home from work. Well, thanks, Wyland. When you get back home, make sure you turn on YouTube, because for some reason the Twitch is still having problems. It was working earlier, now it's not. Just open the Twitch chat and listen on or watch on YouTube. That's the best way to do it right now. I can't figure out the problem. Dungeon told me about, and you know, I was working fine earlier, and now it's just not working. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. I turned YouTube off for a while, and that still didn't help out. So I'm like, fuck it, you know. But anyways, thanks for listening, Wyland. Really appreciate it. And
In other words, the internet hates us.
yeah, it does hate us. So, anyways, we'll talk a little bit about the pandemic and the stimulus and, you know, all kinds of stuff later on the show. But for now, why don't we get started with the news? RPG News. All right, Eric, you're up.
Okay, from RPG site, we got an update for Neo 2 and a date for the first DLC. Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja have revealed more details on the accompanying DLC for Neo 2. First of the 3 planned DLC packs, so just like the original game. The 10 Years Disciple will be available July 30th. This is the new storyline, characters, monsters, skills, armor, spirits, maps, and I'm guessing a new weapon type. It says
Yeah.
new weapon, but it sounds like a new type entirely.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to read the synopsis. 'Cause
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's for the player.
I wouldn't either, man.
But anyways, it says it's gonna be hinting at the historical figure of Minamoto no Yoshitsune, and let's see, it also revealed the titles for the next 2 DLC packs, which are called the Hand Capital Demon Slaying Legends. These are Japanese names, by the way, and First Samurai's Hidden Histories. And there's also a free update which adds photo mode.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that's actually a response to a game we were talking about before we got on the air, Eric. Ghost of... I'm going to say it how everybody's
Which
saying
is
it.
weird because the PS4 already has a share button. But I
Yeah.
guess share function cannot always work right. So doing it in-game is probably better.
Yeah. I don't know. But
And it also offers a free million demon armor set to commemorate the game shipping over 1 million copies worldwide.
okay. That's interesting. Shipping doesn't necessarily equate to sales. We've detailed that on the show before.
The
But
retailers got the sale,
yeah. But
so they've made their money.
oh yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Neo 2 is doing very, very well. I mean, you always expect when you come out with the sequel, at least the first sequel, to do. I don't know. I think what is it? I think the number was 50.
I think
Hang on,
the
Eric.
first game hit over 3 million in a couple of years.
Yeah, the second game usually always does about 50%, at least 50% better than the previous game. So I don't know. There's probably some good numbers coming out of
I need to
Team
play
Engine.
mine,
Sony.
but I need to get through the DLC of the original.
Shit, I still have to play the original. That's one of the few games that I got left.
You're still stuck in the London Tower.
Yeah. That game's fucking hard, man. Like it's a difficult game, but it's not unlike Dark Souls, where if you just take your time, like you'll get through it. But for me, it's kind of a slog. I'm playing something completely different. I'll talk about it later. All right, Breakman, you're up with the next story.
Coming to us live from RPG Site. The new Paper Mario game, because for some reason there's an ad blocking the header here. Paper Mario: The Original King revealed, releasing in July. Wow, that's really soon.
Yeah, they kind of like, here's a game. Give us money now.
Yeah.
They're not going to have any more Switches out by July, are they?
Yeah, some Switches trickle in every now and then.
Every great once in a while, man.
Like the only thing that I've seen is the lights. Like you can get a Switch Lite right now, but like
the regular
Switch
one's
itself.
hard. Yeah, you're right, Break.
The new Paper Mario series entry was revealed fairly unceremoniously with a sudden drop of a trailer onto Twitter and YouTube. No Nintendo Direct, no big fanfare, just here it is. As noted, it's out. Well, Reggie's gone now, so like this is the way we get things.
Yeah.
We don't get the dramatic pause.
Yeah.
Explaining the game. As noted, it's out just over 2 months, which makes it seem like this announcement might have originally been planned for during E3 2020, which of course is no longer taking place. Which why would it? Because Nintendo does their Direct. They don't.
Well, they were gonna have a show during the convention,
Right,
but
but
they
it's
were
Direct.
probably gonna show it there.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to have a Direct during that time, but they aren't now.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah.
you guys want the story since it's Mario? Do you
Yeah, I
we only have
guess.
4 news stories, so I might as well. Details attached to the trailer appear to reveal that Intelligent Systems is back to develop the game. It seems as if King Ali, who claims to be the ruler of the Origami Kingdom, has hatched a devious plot in unleashing his plan to fold the entire world. What an asshole! It looks pretty dangerous. I didn't add it.
There better be a Tearaway Unfolded reference in this game.
Yeah.
It looks pretty dangerous on paper, so someone who's a cut above the rest is needed to save the day. In Paper Mario: The Origami King, Mario faces one of his most thrilling challenges yet. Just when matters couldn't get worse, King Ali has bound Princess Peach's castle in giant colored streamers and transported it to a distant mountain. He's even transformed Bowser's minions into folded soldiers and enlisted them in his treacherous cause. Luckily, Mario is equipped with a range of new tools at his disposal to help him secure victory. A new ability called 1000.
A new Millie Villy.
Yeah, a new Milli Vanilli.
I wonder who did actually write those and perform those songs. Like, whatever happened to them?
Yeah, they went on, like, I read a little bit about that a long time ago. If I remember correctly, Break, they actually went on to write for other people and did fairly well. But,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause we all know what happened to the 2 guys who pretended they were musicians.
See,
but-
when I say I
Yeah.
like music, I'm more interested in composition than I am the actual artist. Because usually there's someone behind an artist.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on this Break?
Yeah, I don't need to read the rest of the story. we got a basic synapse and stuff. Yeah, it's we were just talking about the Switch, and there's an ad that popped up on the side. I guess it's for Amazon or whatever. $529.95.
Oof, that's rough, man. Can you imagine the prices of the PS5s and the Xbox X's when they
Wait, for what console?
the
Switch.
Switch, man? $529.
Oh.
The markup
Talk about
on
some
the Switches-
scalpers.
Yeah, Amazon was supposed to have done something about the scalpers, but obviously not,
Yeah.
because they're still scalpers.
Is that just a Switch or is that the light?
It's a Switch.
Yeah, because you can get
'Cause
lights.
you can- Yeah, the lights you can usually get. I think if I look online right now, I'm pretty sure I could probably find some.
This is actually a pretty exciting release for Nintendo, guys. I don't know if you remember the original Paper Mario stuff, but this is good. This is a big
Also,
game.
if you watch the trailer, there's a certain helmet that falls on Mario.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you guys watch the trailer, I've been playing the trailer, kind of looping the trailer, but at the end Trailer has Mario with a Samus helmet, which
And
is
he's
actually,
doing the pew pews, and that's so adorable.
yeah, it's like the cutest thing, man. It's really really cool. Check out the trailer if you get it. It's at the end of the trailer after the trailer proper. You know, like kind of like
I
a
wonder if that's like
Stinger.
a hint that Prime 4 is gonna get an announcement soon.
oh my god, I've been waiting for Prime 4 forever, man. I will drop everything for that game, except for what I'm playing currently. But
So now I got a dilemma: should I buy this or Tsushima?
ooh, Tsushima's looking good, dude. I mean, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit, man. But let's move on to the next story
It's
from.
like it's another open world game from Sony. It's
Yeah,
like,
I know, but man, I'll talk about it in a little bit. Let's talk about this story, which is actually pretty big. This comes to us from Silicon Era. Japanese teen crowdfunding a lawsuit over Kagawa, Japan's video game law. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but they passed a weird law.
just a while back.
Yeah, let me read the story. The Kagawa, Japan video game law that would keep, I should say, that Kagawa, Japan video game law that would keep individuals under the age of 18 from playing games for over an hour most days is facing opposition from one of the people it limits. My question is, how are they enforcing this? That's so weird.
They probably aren't. It's just if somebody complains that they'll do something.
Yeah. A 17-year-old only going by the name of Wataru is attempting to crowdfund a lawsuit with his lawyer, Tomoshi Saka, to challenge the law that limits how often children should be playing games. The Kagawa, Japan video game law went into effect on April 1st. The most basic elements of it limited people under the age of 18 to 60 minutes of video games from Monday until Friday, then 90 minutes of gaming time on Saturday and Sunday. Another element of it would try to keep children under 15 from using phones after 9 p.m. local time, and from 15 to 18 from using them after 10 local time. As noted, yeah, I know, man.
What are they getting data straight from the phone
Yeah.
providers?
Hold on. As noted by the IB Times, Wataru made a number of statements to AFP explaining why he would be pursuing the lawsuit. In one, he noted the law's rules are flawed. They're based on the premise that gaming is the cause of things like truancy and addiction to games. But it could be the other way around. Truancy can be caused by problems in school, for example, and for some people, playing games can be the only relief. Wataru also noted how long children are allowed to play games or use a smartphone should be rules set by each family, not by the government. I'm in agreement 100% with this kid. Wyland says we sound good through my car speakers. Well, that's just my soul.
If you don't want government overreach, you shouldn't vote for fools like Abe in the first place.
Yeah,
Young people need to go out and fucking vote.
Wyland, I think it's just my sultry voice that sounds good over your speakers, but you know how that is.
I mean, it sounds like imperialist Japan when the no sword rule went into effect.
They
buckled down on everything.
There's something similar that just happened in the Senate here in the United States, guys. The Senate just passed a law that the FBI can search your browser history without
fuck Bernie Sanders.
Hold on. Let me finish, Eric. Jesus Christ. Basically, the Senate passed a law that says that the FBI can look at your browser history, Breakman. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I saw that shit.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. I mean, this is an extension of the Patriot Act, I believe. It's not exactly tied to the Patriot Act, but I mean, the Patriot Act alone was unbelievable. But this is even worse, man. They'll be able to see anything that you've been able to see, on your browser, which, most of us are looking at porn and, other, stuff on the internet. Most of it mundane, but still, like...
It's stuff that they can hold over you if they had to,
Right. What happens if you're watching some porn, right? And you happen to click on a link. I'm not saying I ever did this because I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression. But let's say I'm being honest with you guys. I'm not into bestiality or anything like that. But let's say you happen to cross a video like that, and that's in your browser history, that could be used against you. I mean, it's unfucking real the amount of data that they can look at you for now, and it's ridiculous. And this law in what is it, Wataru? No, I'm sorry, Kagawa, Japan, is ridiculous. Can you imagine? I mean, you're gonna limit. How would it even be enforceable? Like somebody would have to complain first, right? Who would complain? The parents? Oh, my son is playing more than an hour's worth of video games.
I said, they actually have people looking at your mobile data.
But that's so weird. Like
we'll also have like the people who, you know, they want to punish other people. Like that's something that happens regularly, like swatting, for instance.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
like I saw little Johnny over there using his phone for like 12 hours yesterday. What the hell are you doing watching him for 12 hours?
What happens if some kid is playing his console and it's not online? I mean, how, like, a kid would have to go to his parents and say, "Hey, Johnny was on playing Call of Duty for 3 hours today." Yep. I mean, that's what those people are gonna have to deal with now. Really, yep. I mean, fuck all. You know what I mean? Fuck all. You
might as well also complain about the no game bar law.
I mean,
break up the lobby that destroyed that.
Yeah, how about just break up all lobbying, period. Like, that's, I mean, Break and I have talked about this.
Money in politics.
Yep.
We've said, Frank, that's your favorite motto.
Yep. Money in politics. Get the money out of politics. The minute that you get the money out, I wonder what lobby in Japan got this passed. Like, because it obviously wasn't the video game industry. The video game industry should start their own fucking lobby to counteract this bullshit. You know, it's like,
if there are no money and no perks attached to it.
If his efforts aren't successful, that's probably what he's gonna do.
Go
to the game industry. They'll complain on his behalf. They'll listen.
What was that, Break? You were saying
we'll get a lot less, self-indulgent assholes.
Yeah.
Getting into politics if there's no money in it for them.
You know, I was thinking about this, Break, man. Like, of course I was on the Bernie Sanders bandwagon while he was in, right? But it wasn't about Bernie Sanders. It was about the ideals and having more autonomy as a constituent of the United States, and not having things against us that other countries don't even worry about, like lack of health care. You know what I mean? Like, I detailed to you guys. Oh, by the way, you guys remember when I went into the emergency room for what I felt were symptoms of this virus, right? Well, right. Remember, I got the original bill was $1,000, and then it went down to $300 and some, and then it went down to $200. Apparently, there's two separate bills. Why? Ooh. I have no idea. One for $300 and some odd dollars, and another that miraculously went down from $900 to $220. Which I paid a grand total of a penny. I told you guys what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep paying them a penny. But I have a dispute.
You'll pay it off eventually.
Yeah, eventually when I'm dead. By the way, I have a dispute going with them because if you go to a hospital and you get no treatment and no prescriptions and basically just get a piece of paper saying, "Oh yeah, you got the virus, but you probably have the virus, but there's nothing you can do." Like, why would there be a charge for that? Why is there a charge? I mean, honestly, can you think of a reason why I would get a bill? I took 10 minutes of a doctor's time. So you're telling me that a doctor, I don't care if you're a fucking plastic surgeon or a fucking heart surgeon, you're telling me that a doctor is worth $1,000 for 10 minutes? So, what is it, $6,000 an hour? That's how much doctors make, $6,000 an hour, and I'm supposed to accept that. Fuck that nonsense. $6,000. No, I mean, I just read an article that Bezos is going to be worth $1 trillion in the year 2026, man. I mean, is anybody worth that? You think Bezos is worth $1 trillion? Anybody honestly believe that a person is $1 billion? It's absurd.
Yeah, there's no billionaires out there who have done enough to give back.
Right. Right, including everybody's fucking exalted one, Bill Gates. Everybody thinks Bill Gates is the Messiah, and all I can tell you is fuck that guy. You know, because of the amount of money that, I mean, sure, it makes everybody else look paltry in comparison when they donate money, you know, to certain causes, because he's donated, I think, upwards of, I think it's like $1 billion and some, but that is, I mean, come on, that's like a spit in the bucket to that dude. You know, he could give up 20, 30, 40 billion and feel just fine. He could single-handedly fix Flint's water problem. Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos combined, each of them could solve world hunger in one fell swoop. They could just end world hunger. And we're sitting here debating whether or not billionaires are worth their billions. You know, it's like, it's just gross. It's sickening. All right, let's get on to the next story. Eric, last story for the day. There we go. Sorry.
What the hell?
That was
what did
music.
you just do?
I was playing video for the next story, but apparently I still
Anyways,
have audio.
this game is a Pokemon ripoff, and it's called Nexomon Extinction. and we'll come to the consoles. From the Velu Interactive is making the leap to the consoles. First console installment was now a series, so there's more than one of these things. Okay, coming in summer 2020, and details. This is like Pokemon. The Nexomon Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC game will cast players as an ambitious young person who dreams about becoming the best trainer, of course. But also, apparently, there's a danger that has a threat that could leave over the 300 different characters or monsters in the game extinct.
Apparently, this game is getting really good reviews. I mean, it looks good. It looks like
was this a mobile title is what I want to know.
Yeah, it looks like a mobile title. I think it's coming to consoles, like originally on the mobile, and I think it's coming to. But
consoles,
it looks
PC.
It actually looks pretty good. I mean, for a Pokemon clone,
it's 2D. So if you like wanted Pokemon, but you hated the fact that I went to 3D, this is for you, I guess.
Yeah, it looks okay. I mean, it's obviously a clone, but it might be one of those worthwhile clones to play. You know, I'm not gonna shit all over a game just because they try what someone else tried. Like, it looks decent. That's what I'm trying to say.
I do like the idea of each button doing something, though.
Yeah, it looks okay. I mean,
kind of like they took a page from Persona 5 and
yeah,
Legend Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 and 4.
It looks okay. I mean, that's what I gotta say about it. It looks very colorful. I think there's an understated thing in video games. Like, I think I like the colorful games a lot better. Like, we'll be talking a little bit about the tech demo that came out for Unreal Engine a little bit, and I'll talk more about that. But that's the news. So there you go, guys. We've got some homie discounts, so let's go over those.
I don't think so. Homie, don't play that.
All right, Eric, you have...
Oh, before we move on, I want to say something. But it also mentions that Temtem, we talked about Temtem before, is coming to consoles next year.
Okay. Okay. All right, homie discounts. Eric, now there's a PlayStation Plus for $32, apparently.
Yeah.
All right.
The PlayStation Plus is $32. So it's the same from last week, so it hasn't been unchanged.
Okay, so we're keeping an eye on that. There is a Nintendo sale as well. I clicked that link, Eric. I didn't see any specifics. Oh, here we go. Looks like Locomotion is 20% off for $8.79, which, what the fuck is that? Real Mist Masterpiece Edition for $15.99, which is 20% off. Let me see if there's anything.
Gone Home is $7.50.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z is $15. That's 75% off. That's actually really good.
Season passes are also on sale.
Let's see, Xenoverse 2 is $9.99. That's a really good price for that game. And then I don't see anything too. I'm looking through. Oh, there's some Naruto games for 50% off. That looks pretty good. And then nothing else there. I did see some Xbox games that I want to bring your attention to. 505 is having a sale for 50% off a lot of their games. Control is down to $30 on Xbox. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is 50% off for $20. That's a pretty good deal. And then Portal Knights is $8, and Abzu is $8 if you like a relaxing experience. 65% off for $7.
Carol
Not bad.
Blaster.
Huh?
Going back to the eShop, Carol Blaster. That's a good game. That's like $5. It's normally not 10.
Okay.
And the Kentucky Route Zero is under 20.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. So those are the homie discounts for this week. Breakman, should I hit your music? No.
Ni no Kuni's about half off.
Oh, poor Breakman. Send Breakman some questions at RP Grinders. He'll
One
answer.
Piece Pirate Warriors 3 is $10.
He will answer any questions. So at RP Grinders, ask your questions and make Breakman happy because he's.
I like how
Hold on,
Frank
Eric.
decided if it doesn't interest me, I'm not going to talk about it.
What's that break?
I was gonna say, like, there's no questions that we can't save your life about. Like, we can help you. We really can.
Yeah, like if you have survival questions, like if you're out in the middle of the ocean and you have a hot naked chick with you, and you have a choice of either saving the hot naked chick or I don't know, like
This
getting
question's very sexist because you're assuming that you're a white
or
cishet.
okay, or a hot naked dude, then or
I don't know why it's white.
listen, Eric, Jesus Christ, let me get it out before you complain. Or you can get off the island, but you have to leave the said naked person on the island. What would you do? Like Break would love to answer that. Dungeons in chat, he said Control's a great game. I need to get the new story DLC for it. Dungeon, I'm interested in that game, but I'm waiting for like a better sale. Like I know $30 is probably good for it right now, but Remedy does a good job, man. They created one of the greatest games of the Xbox generation, in my opinion, with Alan Wake, and I really like that game, man. Alan Wake was a hell of a game. So a little bit of repetitiveness with the enemies, but other than that, I didn't have very many complaints. But
Should I get the DLC for Control?
Yeah, Dungeon's getting it. Hey, Dungeon, I
think it's only on sale on the Epic Game Store though. So
yeah, Dungeon. There's
I have
some
the PS4 version.
Dungeon. There's some issues with Twitch, dude. I tried turning off YouTube, and it's just Twitch. I don't know what else to do, man. Like I've tried it was working, and then all of a sudden it wasn't working. So I don't know, but. Fun reference to it in Control. I'll have to check that out, Dungeon. I'll get Control eventually. That's a game that I'm very, very interested in. So there you go. All right, let's move on to
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring Minds want to know what you've been playing, Breakman.
Well, I kind of got, I think, most everything done in Chapter 8 that I could possibly do, other than just maybe still grinding.
Yeah.
Get my level up. But I'm already up level 80, and I think max is 99. That's normal for every game.
Yeah, you're pretty
So I'm
up
like,
there.
okay. Yeah, I'm in Chapter 9 now, so I did that.
That's progress,
actually, no, I
man.
take that back. I just finished Chapter 9 in a week.
Wow, cool. Well, that's good, man. That's
Yeah,
that's
Chapter
awesome.
9, basically, they send you to another city, and there is a little bit of combat, but mostly there's some fishing and walking around and exploring this.
I like that type of gameplay though, man, where they send you off to do like these seemingly menial tasks that just end up, boosting your character and stuff like that. So that's awesome, man.
Beautiful city. Like it reminds me of like Venice, sort of like a water type city. It's just fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, that's one thing about Final Fantasy 15 that's clearly underrated. It's the visuals, man. The visuals there are pretty top notch from what I can tell, man. So
yeah, like that, and I think that's why they have the photo mode in there. Like they just every time you camp, you go through the photos that are taken. Like
when am I gonna have time to play this game?
Yeah.
I don't know, but when you do, you'll probably pass me by because I'll be still grinding on something. Like,
Don't look, Breakman. Don't feel
It sounds
bad.
like the game's easy enough that you don't need to, though.
No, you don't. You really don't. But,
Don't
I enjoy
fi-
myself. Like,
Yeah. don't feel bad, Break. Like I play the same way, dude. I level up way too much, and it's why like I always double the amount of time that those games are recommended. Like
Right.
that's just how it is.
Although I heard the game has its own version of a Final Fantasy 12 monster that takes like 2 hours to kill.
Oh,
I think it's like the giant tortoise enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dungeon.
that
toys.
thing. I've met that thing already.
Yeah.
That's,
Dungeon.
that was one of the things. That was the inspiration for me of moving to Chapter 9, actually.
Yeah.
Because I went to do that battle, and it was one of the only few that was left, and I'm like, okay, let's do. Oh my god! All right.
Even at level 80, it will stomp you.
Yeah, Dungeon says, I hear that. I looked into it last week, and apparently you can multicast to Twitch and YouTube, but not if you're a partner. There's a proxy site that can help, from what I understand. So you stream to that, and it's supposed to split it to wherever you want. Dungeon, any help you can give me, dude, I will take it, man. If you give me links and reading and stuff like that, like I want it to work on both sides. I mean, I shit on YouTube all the time, but YouTube is stable for the most part. I don't know what's going on with Twitch, and I love Twitch. Twitch is my favorite. I like Twitch over any other broadcasting site. So that's where we get most of our listeners. I mean we're up to like it's past 9,000 now, which I was really surprised. But in the short amount of time that we've been on Twitch, that's excellent. So shout out to all the Twitchers out there. Yeah. All right. So Final Fantasy 15 Breakman, is that all you've been kind of playing?
Yeah, I mean the mobile games too, but like yeah, it's there's some big twist in Chapter 9, and I just started Chapter 10. I saved it, and that's where I am. So
Yeah.
I want to get back to it. Let's hurry up the show.
Yeah. All right. Eric, what have you been playing?
Just more Seven Scarlet and Final Fantasy. I got back into Final Fantasy VII Remake because I was trying to get through my viewing of the regular at Magic High School to get in time to watch the movie before they remove the movie from Funimation Now, because it's only there for a limited time.
Yeah.
So, like, I decided to watch a certain number of episodes, and then by the time I was done watching all of those episodes for the day,
Yeah.
I didn't have much time left in the day to do much of anything, so I just decided to boot that up and try out hard mode.
Yeah. I have a question for you, Eric. You think that Final Fantasy VII Remake's eventually going to come out with like, you know how they're going to do it in multiple parts? Do you think there's going to be like an Ultimate Edition, say, on the PlayStation 5?
No, because it's already too huge as it is in file size.
Okay. You don't think
Do
that...
you think in like
They'll
15?
do a bundle sell that they'll probably sell for like $200, but
Ugh, that's gross. What were you going to say, Break?
In like 15 to 30 years, you think they're going to do another remake with like live actors and stuff like that?
but like Disney.
Full motion video, stuff
Right.
like that. Yeah. I played a little bit of Marvel Puzzle Quest. I played Metro, and you guys know I had been playing all these first person shooters, right? Call of Duty ain't got shit on Metro, man. Like, Metro is a difficult fucking game, man.
Which Metro are you playing?
There's two of them.
There's actually a third. There's 3 of them now.
Yeah, not the third one.
I played the original. Like you're playing a remastered version, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I think I need to try the remastered because like the
I
original
heard
version.
middling things about Exodus though.
Yeah.
I don't know
yeah.
anything about Exodus, so I didn't play that one. The
No,
second
you-
one is
you should check-
fantastic, but the original was like,
Yeah.
had a lot of problems.
It's
I'm interested in the
they've
remastered.
addressed a lot of those issues. I know what you're talking about, Breakman, with the remake. So usually, get them on sale. They're on sale usually for both of them for like less than $20, and they're worth it. But if you're used to the Call of Duty just going through and just blazing through everything, forget it, because it's fucking hard, man. Like it is really difficult. Like it's not a Call of Duty scale game. Like it's so. In lieu of that, I put it down because it was just it seemed a little too difficult for me. I know I could get through it, but I I really want to get to what I'm going to tell you guys next. I am finally going through Dragon Quest XI, all right? I did it before. I started it, and I got a good chunk of it done, but I was like, look, I really want to save this game.
What version are you playing?
The one on the PS4. I really want to, save this game. It's like the pinnacle of my PlayStation playing this generation. Like, that's the game that I was looking forward to the most. So that's what I'm playing now, and I redid it. I restarted it because I wanted a fresh, clean vision of it because the game was just too good. Like, it was visually like everything I wanted in a Dragon Quest game and more. And now, Wyland's back home. He says first day back to work in 8 weeks, and it's wiped him out. I bet, dude. Like, that's that stuff. So I'm working on Dragon Quest XI. I'm about 6-7 hours in. So good little chunk done, and it's great so far, and I love it. And it's not DQ8 great. Maybe visually it's great. I wish they could redo DQ8 in that visual style. It would be awesome. But anyways, it's great so far, and I'll talk more about it later. But let's move on to
RP Grinders reviews.
All right, Eric, you have a bunch of reviews to get through, and take your time with them because I have to use the restroom, so I'll be back in a few.
All right. Which one should I go with? Sword Online Alternative, High School Girl, The Wonderland, or the regular Magic High School?
Which one's the sexiest?
Uh,
Funnest. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I'm gonna go with Sword Online then. Sword Online Alternative, Gun Gale Online, which is the game that they played in the second season of Sword Art Online. This is a spinoff that takes place around that time frame, sometime after but before the start of the third season. So like I think it's like 2026 and not quite 2027 yet. At the end of the season, set 2. But anyways, it's about a girl who's in college who has become popular online by playing Gun Gale Online because she was introduced to it by her friend because she wanted to try something different. But like she wasn't really into the whole VR game thing that much. But so it's about her and her doing this like tournament called Squad Jam, which is basically like a miniaturized version of the Ballad of Bullets, which they did in the previous season. But there's no Kirito or Asuna or Sinon in the show, but it's just a 12-episode series about her trying to kill one of the players that she became friends with because it was like a bet they made or so, or / promise, and it becomes like an issue of killing her so that she doesn't kill herself in real life because she has a weird mental thing that she probably needs to get help for. Yeah, I hope she does, but because they kind of leave that open-ended at the end. But she basically has to defeat her to prevent her from doing that, because he was petitioned by one of her confidants to do so because he's worried about her mental health. Anyways, because I guess she found out about
the health problems of his own. But go on.
Yeah, the guy is also kind of crazy. But anyways, like she got crazy when she found out about the Sword Art Online incident where they all got stuck in the game for 2 years and they ended up dying in real life if they died in the game because their brains would get fried if they did. But she was already kind of screwed up then, and she wanted to be a part of that life or death situation because I guess she feels most truly alive when her life's on the line. So one of those crazy nutcases. But and then she got pissed when she couldn't get in, and then she heard about a couple other things, and then that's when she got driven over the brink, and that's why this whole thing has happened. But it was an interesting show, and I think the only reason that Toonami didn't put it on there is because they seem to have a problem with female leads Like with the one exception being The Promised Neverland, which was on previously, but I think they made special favors at Cartoon Network to get it on there. But it's the only other show that had female leads and a mostly female cast were the 2 seasons of Fully Cooley that they did, which weren't good to begin with. But so Toonami sucks. That's what I'm trying to say. But you can watch this on Netflix or Crunchyroll if you want to watch it subtitle only.
Yeah, Freak Five's in chat. What's up, Freak Five? And yes,
So I'm gonna give Storyline Alternative an 8.5 because they actually had good writing in a Sword Art Online show for once.
Yeah. Let's see. What was I gonna say?
Wow. Wait. Well, you're just gonna go, yeah? You're like, he gave Sword Art Online a good score. We should be shocked by this. Shocked.
Well, the first 2 seasons of the original show just weren't written well. The action was erratic, and that's also a problem that carries over to Sword Art Alicization, although the writing in that show is better. That's a saving grace, but I think the action's still kind of shitty.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we should be like, holy shocked. Like, wow, like this must be really, like, compared to other Sword Art Online, like, this is a good show. Just saying.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. By the way, my toilet leveled up, guys, and I did poop today. So there you go.
Wait, does your toilet level up whenever you poop?
Depends on what, I mean, there's a certain amount that it's like grinding. You have to grind for a while. The toilet has to grind for a while before it levels up.
But it just seeds or something. Give it extra stats.
Yeah, like if you poop out like sesame seeds, then you get like extra grinding levels on it. So, yeah.
But okay, I'm moving on to High School Girl now. This is there's 2 seasons of this show on Netflix, and it was based on a manga that or a light novel, I'm not sure, but I think there are more issues that come after season 2 which could lead into a season 3, but it's technically a spin-off series, so like they'd probably just have to make it a completely different show, but and not just toss a season 3 onto the list. But because the reason they had to is because they had to give the new manga series a new name, because they ran afoul of SNK, which is a very litigious video game company. Like, even though like companies like Taito and Square Enix and Capcom had no issues with all the footage that was used in this show. But
SNK is like, fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's about it starts off with a 6th grader named Haruo, and he's a gigantic arcade gaming addict, and he eventually runs into this girl in this arcade who comes from a rich family, but like she's weird because she like doesn't really talk at all. She just makes sounds usually and intimates like gestures to get her points across.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, he gets owned by her, and he gets really frustrated, and they develop he develops a rivalry with her, and they start hanging out more because they go to the same school. And then it turns out that she's moving to LA because her parents are moving there for work-related reasons, and they develop such a rapport that she like bawls her eyes out when she has to leave, and he gives her this cheap plastic ring he finds in an arcade, which technically shouldn't exist. And that's like one of the things that goes on in the show. Like, there seems to be gaming gods at work that like step in on their behalf to like either show them something or do something for them.
Yeah.
But there's lots of detail about like the game theory of fighting games and like the different names of techniques they use. Like turtling and alchemization for like final fight, but to get like more points by getting certain items to show up in the barrels, because apparently those are random, or they're like set, but they can be tweaked to become random, give you what you want.
Okay, so what are you giving High Score Girl?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Wow. Okay, so is it like a coming of age story, Eric, or is it like
It's
a
sort
love
of
story?
like that slice of life, romance, and comedy.
Okay. All right, so what do you got next for us?
It's also a period piece. It takes place in the 90s.
That's cool.
But the Wonderland, I'm less interested in because it's not a bad movie at all, but it's an isekai, and like that's like getting stuck in another world type of situations. Like, and I think it's just trying to do Ghibli because it's like there's lots of stuff that like makes you think, yeah, they're definitely trying to rip off Spirited Away here.
Okay.
But I have nothing really bad to say about the animation or characters, but it needed to be more. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay. All right, so it's just a...
It's slightly better than the Ni no Kuni movie.
Okay. All right, so
I
what
think
else
the
you
biggest problem with my movie is that there were no stakes, because this is obviously a kids movie. We know there's going to be a happy ending, so why should I care about anything that potentially bad could happen to them?
got? Happy ending, sweet.
Not that kind of happy ending.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, so what else you got, Eric?
The regular Magic High School. This is mainly a review on the movie, but I need to talk about the series a little bit first, since season 1's been done for a while, and season 2 starts in July. But think Harry Potter, but only during the high school portion, and it's a lot more serious and dark, and it's in Japan, so it's anime. And if Harry Potter were more intrinsically intertwined with the government,
Okay.
because it deals with terrorists and Chinese mobsters, which is another thing that kind of bothers me about the show, because I keep wondering whether or not the show's actually nationalist propaganda, even though it takes place in the year 2095.
Okay. Still
Yeah,
sounds...
that's another thing. It's in the future, so it. I also think Harry Potter, but if Harry Potter also, its magic society was more widely accepted by the non-magic using societies of the world, and they intertwine their magic with technology, and magic actually is more like a science, because there are formulas that go into their spells.
I always thought that, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, but I always thought that like when the Japanese use music, when they use magic in anime form, it's more to highlight science, like kind of like to get people to think more sciency, even though I don't know if that makes sense, Eric.
I just think, I think maybe when the Japanese want to introduce magic, they want to have some kind of explanation of how it works. Because with Harry Potter, it's just, we did a thing because we say this is what happens when you do this.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so what are you giving Irregular Magic High School?
Anyways, I didn't talk about the movie at all yet,
Oh,
but the
okay.
movie is, it seems like it's a non-canonical story, even though apparently it takes place after like the first arc of the second season happens, which it was a manga first, so the movie has no problem covering that ground. But apparently that, like, past that in the manga, they drop references to things that happen in the movie, but I don't know. The movie is an original story, so I think maybe only part of, like, the smallest part of this movie is like canonical to the events of the film itself. like the things that they reference, but like maybe the events didn't actually happen, but like maybe places and things were referenced. But anyways, the movie basically boils down to some jerk offs are doing forbidden experiments, which are using humans as test subjects, and they were basically being used as batteries to power this machine that would bring meteors or satellites crashing down on the planet. I think the technology they were trying to develop was a means to prevent that thing from happening, but they were using a crash as a test. And then it goes wrong. But while this is happening, they need to put a stop to the experimentation by rescuing these 9 girls that they were using. Mm-hmm. And they're all essentially clones of each other, so they're sisters.
Okay.
They're called artificial magicians because I guess they weren't normally infused with magic, but that they use magic technology to make them be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I'm going to give the movie a 7. The series I'd give, for right now, I'd probably give it an 8.
Okay. So it sounds like it's worth a watch at the very least, right, Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only available in Japanese, which I think it's because it's an Aniplex property, and when it comes, despite the fact that Aniplex is owned by Funimation now, I guess they're still operated on their own, and Funimation doesn't interfere with them. They do whatever they want, but which is why disc prices for Aniplex shows are still expensive. Yeah. But they I guess whenever the dub is made, then maybe Funimation now will get it, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. A bunch of what do they call it? A gaggle of reviews from Eric on some anime that you might want to check out for sure. Breakman, did you have any reviews that you wanted to do?
No, not really.
Okay. Wyland, I take a look at that. He put in chat a Twitter post with the brutality from RoboCop. That's fucking brutal, man. That's from Mortal Kombat. It's kind of okay. All right, I got a quick review I'm gonna do of a movie called Antrum, and Antrum's premise is that it's a pseudo documentary on a movie called Antrum that supposedly when you watch it you know, bad things happen. Like there was a screening of it in like the 70s, and the whole theater burned down, and there was a whole
kind of like The Ring.
Yeah, it's like The Ring sort of, but I gotta tell you guys honestly, this movie kind of creeped me out. Not because I believe in any of that bullshit or anything like that, but wow, it's kind of a weird movie. It centers around a kid and his sister going out to the woods to literally dig a hole to hell, and they kind of go through
that's a normal thing kids do.
Yeah, of course. The sister's kind of older.
They're
She's
not digging a hole to hell. They're just digging deep enough to find the portal to hell.
Yeah. That's it. That's pretty much it. They have a book with like the ritual and all that type of stuff, and they end up going through, not really literal, gates of hell, but they go through a few of them. There's supposedly 9, like Dante's Inferno. But this, it was actually pretty decent. Wyland, you might be interested in checking it out. It's called Antrum. It's on Amazon Prime streaming.
I heard the Ju-on's like scary as fuck.
Yeah, I want to see that. That's another movie I want to see. You guys
the originals.
They're good. The Ju-on movies are good for sure.
Can you watch the originals anywhere?
Yeah, streaming? I think they're streaming on Amazon Prime. They might be on
I'm not watching the Grudge adaptations.
Netflix. But yeah, The Grudge, the first movie was good. I liked it, but whatever. But I highly recommend checking out Antrum. It basically plays like a little bit like Blair Witch, but better in my opinion. The movie they show you the entire quote unquote movie, and it seems like on the surface like very shallow. But there's
So wait, is it like one take or something?
no. It's a very simple movie. It's basically these two kids. Like one is really young. I think he's like maybe 8 or 9, and the other one's like in her late teens, maybe.
Wyland said they were on Tubi.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, just check it out. It ends really cool. Like during the whole movie, there's like these subliminal like little like symbols that you're like, did I just see that? And you really don't know what you're really looking at. And at the end, they kind of go over like what that really is and stuff like that. And it's kind of neat the way they did it. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. Antrum is it's different. It's not your normal scary movie. It doesn't have a lot of jump scares, but there is a little bit of weirdness in there. And if you like folklore, like like the 9 Gates of Hell and how that's supposed to work, sort of like Dante's Inferno type shit, then you'll like Antrum. It's seeped in symbolism. So if you like movies like that, you're really gonna like Antrum. I highly recommend giving it a watch. So there you go. All right. Do either of you have a Heiscapade?
No, but I do have a question. Do you think that they're gonna show the Black Widow on Disney Plus?
Yes, I think it's coming. I really do. And I don't think
they're just gonna skip the theater.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have a choice. I don't think,
because they're already doing this for the Hamilton, and this movie's already been delayed twice.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I don't think they're gonna have a choice. I don't think the theaters are gonna be ready up until probably November. To be honest with you, so
Well, all this depends on what happens in the next couple months, and then again what happens in the fall.
Yeah,
yeah. Winter.
I mean, you can forget the summer. There's no question that none of the theaters are going to open up before summer's end, and everybody's moved their movies out of summer anyways, so it's not like there's a major release that's going to be released at the theater anytime soon. I think the earliest movie I saw that's still scheduled to
New Mutants will probably show up on Hulu because Disney's weird like that.
Yeah, I don't think. It's not August, but forget that. I mean, I don't think anything. I think September maybe the earliest, but beyond that, I don't see any major movies coming back. I just don't see it. But I mean,
I want to watch Scoop, but I don't want to pay $20 for it.
Just wait for it to go down in price, Eric. Like there'll be a sale.
Do you think that'd be
a month or two? Like, just be patient. That's what I mean. It's like video games, Eric. Like they all, they all kind of.
I bet they priced it that way because they just want to get people to say, I might as well just buy it then.
Yeah. All right.
Get that extra $5 money.
Yep. All right. I have a Heiscapade, so let's do it. Heiscapade. Okay, I'm calling this one the Symphony of Destruction, guys, and I'll tell you why. I don't know. I'm kind of getting stir crazy and cabin fever like everybody else, right? Like I want to go out and do stuff and do things, but nothing's open yet here. It really literally is ghost town. I mean, there are more and more cars going now because they're opening up certain, businesses and stuff like that. But it's still, for the most part, like all the casinos here up in the mountains are closed and stuff. But I was like, I kind of want to see it. I want to see it in that condition because usually it's bustling and, there's a lot of people and stuff like that. So, and it's
Some
a
of
nice.
my local places are like restaurants are like opening, but they're doing curbside only.
Yeah, there's curbside here, but that's it, But I kind of wanted to see how the casinos look like in there, with no people, not inside or anything because you can't go inside. But so I took my parents and Bernie on a drive. It was just a nice leisurely drive into the mountains, and it kind of got me out of the house, and I was just going stir crazy, and I have those moments. I've been having not mental breakdowns, but just getting real melancholic, and just some other things that are going through my head. So I needed some fresh air, basically. And so we went kind of a long route around to the casinos. I wanted to take the scenic route, so I did. And we got to the where the casinos were, and it was ghost town. There was like literally nobody there. Like, I mean, there was like a person.
That's what Vegas is going to be like when it reopens. No one's going to want to come in anyway.
Yeah, I want to go to Vegas in probably December, but and the reason I say
I don't know. Like, I've seen like what's been going on with like this casual opens and stuff like that. Like pictures of bars around the country. Like places are getting packed. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, the way that the casinos are going to do it is going to actually be kind of good, Break. You'd be surprised. Like, I was looking at the measures that they're most likely gonna take, and they have like in between every slot machine they got like plastic, like what do they call that? Plexiglass in between, so that's a good thing. The buffets,
The post office.
hold on, you're gonna be, when you go into a buffet, you're going to have to request your food and they'll bring it to you as opposed to you spreading it everywhere, and all that shit. So there are a lot of measures that the casinos are going to go through if they're going to open again, which is good, But I figure by December, I think, things may be under control, but I'll keep it, I'll keep looking. And if I don't feel comfortable, I'm not going. I mean, but that's my goal. In December, I want to go to Vegas and, see some stuff, and for a vacation. I haven't had a vacation like at least 5-6 years, so it's time to do something. I mean, there's other things I could do, but it's kind of what I want to do, and if they do it the right way, then then that's kind of what I want to do for vacation. So maybe not ideal, but fuck it. I mean, this country seems like it's going to hell anyways. Why not have a little bit of fun on my way out if that's how it's going to be, so whatever. So anyways, we get to the casinos and nothing's going on. And so we decide to drive back into Denver. It's only like maybe half an hour drive, 45 minutes, something like that. It's not a bad drive at all, So we get to almost out of the mountains, and all of a sudden I hear some snoring, and I look to the right of me, and my mom is out. She's sleeping. And then I'm like, okay, cool, she's tired, whatever. And then all of a sudden I hear some more snoring, and I look in the back, like quickly look in the back, and my dad is sleeping. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then so I hear another set of snoring, and it's Bernie. So I'm in the car, guys, and I'm hearing the symphony of destruction in my car. 3 people that are snoring.
Does that make you the master of destruction?
Probably. It was weird. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm the only one awake. And then, so my mom kind of wakes up, right? And I'm like, hey, you enjoy your nap there? She's like, oh, I wasn't sleeping. I was like, sure, that's what they all say. And then she goes, oh, look, they're sleeping. I was like, you were too. And she was like, I was not. I was like, the hell you weren't, woman. You were sleeping just like they were. So all the way like down the mountain, all I could hear was these 3 people just snoring in my ear. I'm like, oh, great. This is awesome. I'm never going to do this shit again. So yeah, Symphony of Destruction, guys. That was my high-scapade for the week. So, all right, let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
What is it?
Stinko of the Week.
Breakman, you are up. Your Stinko of the Week.
Okay, there are a few stinkos. There was a report out that a spike in areas of the coronavirus in areas where there were heavy protests, basically.
Yeah.
So those assholes, of course, as we said, were spreading the fucking virus to other people.
Yeah, I opened up a thing on the feed right now. If you're looking, it shows the rate, right? And March 15th we had 667 deaths, and then you go all the way up to the peak, which was about April 24th. It was 36,000, right? And then just last week, May 11th, it went down to 17,779, which it seems like progress, right? Until you remember, that's when a lot of states kind of opened up their shit. And then you look a few days later, the 14th, and it's trending upwards. We're back up to 26,768 deaths. So, or cases. I'm sorry, I misspoke. So, currently there's 1.47 million, and these are just like what we know. It's not the ones that have been not tested, like myself.
Which in our Mr. Trump, he's not president.
Yes.
Mr. Trump wants to make sure that as little people as possible get tested because he wants lower numbers.
Yes.
He's flat out said it.
Yes. Which doesn't make sense anyways, because the United States leads to everybody, because guess how many deaths we have right now in just a matter of months?
I was looking, I was trying to get on earlier, Skype was being a bitch. I was looking
Yeah.
on Twitter, and the latest estimate is we now have more combined deaths than 9/11,
Yes.
Vietnam War.
Yes.
Shit, what were the other ones? I forget. Like they're like the combined amount of deaths.
Yeah, we're up to 88,031, and that's just the confirmed coronavirus cases. There's a lot of people that didn't even get tested. I'm guessing that number is probably about 120,000, but for just confirmed 88,000, and then we're heading on a upward trend because of the openings. We're not heading on a downward trend. So continue on, Brakeman.
The war in Afghanistan killed 2,400 approximate. These are approximates.
Yep.
9/11 attacks killed approximately 3,000. War in Iraq approximately 4,400, and
Yep.
Vietnam 58,000.
Yep. We're all of those
Together,
combined.
We've blown that number out.
Yep. Yep.
Coronavirus has blown that number away.
Yep, it's worse than the Spanish flu in the United States. So, 88,031 so far, and that number's only going to go up. I believe the official total, when it's all said and done, is going to be around 150,000. But the untold.
I figure with us, with so many places reopening and stuff like that, I just fear there's going to be more spikes and such like that.
We're already seeing that, Break. I
know, but
yeah.
I mean like major spikes.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people who have been like you're saying, getting stir crazy and stuff like that. That they just, people are losing their minds. Some people are.
Yeah.
It's mostly because our government's failed us in every single way. But whatever.
You're right about that, actually, Break. The government has failed us. They gave us, you still haven't got it, but $1,200 we're going on, 3 months now? That's $400 a month. That's what our government thinks we're worth. They think we're worth $400 a month. We're supposed to survive off of that I can understand why people are eager to get back to work, because they can't afford to fucking live off nothing. If we were in Canada right now, Brakeman, you would be assured $2,000 a month until this thing just was gone. They say stay at home, and we'll give you $2,000 a month. That's not being socialist or crazy, or that's just being sensible.
Yes. I'm sick of these people who are arguing like, oh, it's just people die, like we just need to move on, stuff like that. Like, really, money is more important than human life.
Right. Right.
An inanimate fucking fake object is more important than lives that can't be replaced. We can replace fucking money.
Yes.
Money
absolutely.
Is garbage anyways.
It's garbage.
A fucking construct that needs to go away.
I agree. I totally agree. We've talked about this. The answer isn't necessarily socialism, but I think
I feel like the reason rich people hoard so much wealth is so that they can forever create a barrier to hold us by, because as long as we believe money has value, they can hold it over us. To do whatever they want.
What do billions,
it's power to them?
Hang on, Eric. Exactly. What do millions, billions, and trillions of dollars mean if you can't? Hold on. We just gotta
convince these rich motherfuckers we don't give a fuck about money anymore.
Here's what I was going to say.
We need money. The rest of us all need money. We can't survive without it.
Right.
Which is the whole point of this conversation. But anyway.
There are ways to redo this, right? Like I said, it wouldn't hurt the government to give us $2,000 a month. They just spent $6 trillion on the fucking stock market to put it in a big fucking hole and put dirt over it. So
and I was looking at some of the money, allotted, some of these private jet companies celebrating the money, friends of Trump and stuff like that got money. But these same people like laid off their employees and shit like that.
What I was gonna say is like eventually capitalism is gonna collapse because what good are millions and billions and trillions of dollars if all your constituents and people underneath you are dead? If you have no employees to make you those millions and billions and trillions. Eric, hang on. All right, go ahead, Eric.
I said they don't think about the future. They're never forward thinking.
Right. So what I was trying to say is that if there's nobody around to celebrate that money or to give that money to, what the fuck good is that money? I mean, it can buy, like, Bezos is always going to be rich until the day he dies, and he's not going to suffer any of the consequences, right? But maybe his grandkids, at some point, that money is valueless and doesn't mean anything because there's nobody left to exploit. You know, that's what workers are. That's what everybody is an exploitation. You know, if you're not in the 1%, how do you exploit those 99% of the people that are struggling check to check, like Breakman and Eric, and even myself? I don't traditionally work. I used to. But even like Bernie, my girlfriend Bernie, she works hard every week. And, you know, I mean, what does that say? What does that say? That you can't, as a government, you can't take care of your people and spend the $2,000 a month that would keep people afloat, like with rent and you know, shit like that. I mean, $1,200, I can't imagine somebody in New York or Los Angeles, $1,200 a month here in Denver, that'll buy you like a 1-bedroom apartment maybe in a semi shitty, you know, place on this, you know, I mean, just not great. I mean, $1,200 is not going to get you a lot, you know. Also, if your customers are dead, where will their money come from? Exactly, Freak 5. So, you know, what do you do? I don't know. It's just weird. What else you got, Break? Any other stinkos?
They'll become Umbrella Corporation. They'll just clone people like in Resident Evil movies.
I guess that's our goal, man. I mean,
great. Yay, exciting. There are some... Break. What did I say this time, Freak? What am I doing that's making everybody in chat mad at me lately? What did I do?
You're making fun of me for one. Like, you know, I got a special corner for you, Breakman. By the way,
anyway, I've got some more stinkos. There were actually other deaths this week, completely unrelated to the COVID-19. The famous actor Jerry Stiller died.
Yeah, he was
also Seinfeld.
Yep, 92, I think he was.
Also,
good
Little
life.
Richard.
I was getting to that, Eric. So thanks.
I didn't know how many you had. It sounded like you only had one.
Yeah,
no, that's it.
Yeah, Uncle Richard.
Uncle Richard.
He
was Frank's uncle, wasn't he?
There's something weird about Little Richard that I never knew. He officiated a lot of weddings. Did you know that, Break?
Like, yeah, he was a preacher. He was a author, or what do they call that?
Minister.
Ordained, yeah.
Yeah, ordained minister. He officiated Tom Petty's wedding, which I was like flabbergasted. I was like,
he was also responsible for a lot of the rock musicians saving their careers. Like, he saved the careers of the Rolling Stones.
Yep, that's absolutely 100% correct. The Rolling Stones should.
Some people say that he's the original king of rock and roll because Elvis stole his stuff.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. I've personally always, we've talked about Elvis before. I've always said he's overrated. Little Richard, not overrated.
No, Little Richard, definitely not overrated for sure. All right, so is that all your stinkos, Break?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, Eric, I didn't see any stinkos on yours.
No, I got none.
Okay.
Other than the fact I mentioned it earlier, but I guess I could reiterate. Bernie Sanders, my stinko for fucking voting for that FBI surveillance shit.
Yeah, there must be something else in that bill that he wanted passed, Eric, is the only explanation.
I actually do have another stinko before, but we can get back to me.
No, go ahead, break. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead and continue, but just come back to me.
Okay. All right. I got a couple real quick. Trump's Obamagate gaffes, like he was asked by a reporter, right?
Wait, what the hell is Obamagate?
Okay, hold on. I'm getting to it.
Yeah,
Eric.
exactly.
Let me finish. He was asked directly by a reporter exactly what crime Obama committed in this Obamagate thing that's been going around, and Trump could not answer the fucking question, which is to be expected. But you think something that big, that that's supposedly bigger than Watergate, that you know what he told the reporter? He said, "Oh, you know what he did." And I'm like thinking to myself, he just asked you the fucking question. What crime?
I'm sure he did worse than this Obamagate stuff.
There's plenty that I can bitch about Obama, right? The fact that he drone striked civilians and, all kinds of other shit. He should be in The Hague, right? Just like George Bush should be, and George Bush Sr. and Bill Clinton is another one. They all should be in the fucking Hague, right? For war crimes. Every single one of them. But all this bullshit, like fake nonsense that Trump is coming up with, I mean, and calling on Lindsey Graham to subpoena Obama for what? Like, what exactly does he want done? Like, for what? For what crime? It's sort of like if a police officer pulls you over or he sees you and he's detaining you. What crime did you commit if you were just walking?
This is just meat to his base.
Right.
That's all that is. Just look, see, I'm still going after him.
I might
still
kind of
going after
understand what he was
evil
alluding
lefties.
to if he was talking about birther shit, but
Ugh.
he wasn't.
He wasn't. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a complete buffoon. He has no idea what he's talking about. He should be nowhere near any office, let alone.
Is he getting confused with Pizzagate and Obama doing the private prison
I
shit,
have.
Chelsea Manning?
Who knows?
Notice how the whole Ukraine thing disappeared. Like, he doesn't talk about
Right.
Hunter Biden anymore.
Oh, he will. He's holding that one for the election. Just watch, man. The other thing is the $1,200 thing. It really gets to me because I was thinking about people, mostly in California and New York. I know there's other places, like you guys live in Ohio. I know Cincinnati's, comparable to Denver in rent and stuff like that. Like, what can $1,200 a month buy you in Cincinnati, Break? Like a one bedroom, maybe?
I'm sorry, I'm reading chat.
If you live in New York, that's not even enough to cover rent.
What does $1,200 cover in rent? Like, what could you get? Could you get a studio, maybe a one bedroom? Like, what is $1,200?
I mean, you can get an okay apartment for a month, maybe.
Okay, yeah, month.
Half okay, decent.
Yeah,
Maybe. I mean, you're not going to get a nice one. I mean, the ones like downtown are really expensive.
Can you get anything for $400 a month?
Yeah, there's some ghetto-ass apartments around here.
Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, now we're relegated to going to ghetto apartments. $400 a month. I mean,
my apartment's not that ghetto, but I pay like $550 a month.
well, that's good, man.
I know people who in other parts of the state who live in broken down old
Technically, it's
schoolhouses, for
$520,
instance.
and then I pay $30 with water on top of it.
Yeah.
Places with no electric, they have water but no electric.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Freak 5 says Tuesday we found out that one of the guys in the packing has tested positive, and we also
That's
found
what I
out
was reading.
and we also found out that we were lied to when the company said they would close down for 2 weeks and we would still get paid if there was a confirmed case. Wow. When I ran out of
No,
work,
it doesn't end there.
yeah, when I run out of work, I help other departments. Last week I was covering stations and packing so they could take bathroom breaks, and the guy with COVID is one of the stations I covered. On Wednesday, I heard about a guy in sortation who got fired because he thought it was smart to drink a margarita in the break room during his lunch.
I
Tuesday,
have to ask Freak if the Jizzergeist is the one with COVID.
Yeah. Thursday, we were told that one of the ladies in inventory, her husband had tested positive. He's in inventory. I got tested this morning. Find out Monday. Jesus, Freak. If you get COVID, Freak, I would sue the fuck out of that company. Literally. I would sue the living fucking fuck out of that company. And don't care about the repercussions.
Take your $1,200 check to get an attorney.
Yeah. Ugh. Fuck that, man. I would totally fucking sue that
That'd be
company.
the down payment, and then once you win, then you can give them the rest.
Yeah, how could you not win that case, Freak 5? Find a lawyer and sue the fuck out of that company. If you test positive, then first of all, I'm glad you could get tested. I wasn't even afforded that opportunity, but man, I hope you don't have it. Fingers crossed. But if you test positive, Freak 5, sue the fuck out of that company. And hopefully you don't die, dude. Like, honestly,
and
man.
hopefully you don't end up in a court with a Trump-appointed judge.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck. Ugh, that's terrible. So, that was my other stinko. Just $1,200 is not enough, man. Like, other countries are doing $2,000. $2,000 sounds reasonable. If you have a family of 4, you'd get $2,000 for each, parent, and then, if you have 2 kids, maybe $1,000 for each. I could see somebody living comfortably with like $4,000 or $5,000 for a month. You know what I mean? I mean, it might not be super comfortable, but $4,000 or $5,000 sounds reasonable, to get through this bullshit until, shit opens up again. Just, I don't know, just stupid. Let's move on to happier things, guys.
Dude, what does my tattoo
Oh,
say?
you know what? Hold on. Did you have another one? Break? You said you have.
Okay. This one, I don't know who to call or how to report what's going on here, but this week hair salons have been authorized to go ahead and open back up.
Oh boy.
So, go back to business, but there are rules, right?
Yes.
Some of the things you have to do are maintain like a distance 6 feet apart.
Yes.
Obviously, somebody cutting hair can't.
Right.
You're gonna have to be close by.
Just the other dressers need to be that far apart.
But they, yeah, exactly. You need to be far apart from each other. You're supposed to wear the mask at all time. You're supposed to do customers at a one at a time basis, which should be a norm anyway. But they're not supposed to be letting people in buildings or something like that. Well, I know some place who this is the second day they've been open and they've already stopped wearing their masks. They're not social distancing. They're bringing everybody into the store and into a crowded place.
Is there repercussions, Break? Is there, could you report them to, I don't know.
I want to know who to report them to, because
the health
it's
department?
where Mrs. Brakeman works, and she is afraid.
Yeah. I would look into it, Break. I would call the health department, your local health department, because they might be able to. Because here, if you're caught without wearing your mask, your business is fined $1,000, which, for one of these fast food joints, it wouldn't be anything, right? $1,000 to them is nothing. But these mom and pop hair cutting salon type deals, that's quite a bit of money, man. That might send a message that you can't fucking fuck around with this shit. It's it sucks. So maybe that's.
I mean, this isn't her boss. She's talking about actively just walking out and just leaving completely.
I would. This
is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is day 2 they've been opening already. They're like, we're going back to normal. Screw it.
Yeah, no.
We got tired of the virus. We're going to pretend like it doesn't exist.
So this is your wife's work, Break?
Well, she's independent, but yeah, the place she works, yes.
I might think about suing. That's another case where a lawyer might come into play there. I would, if I was your wife, I would wear the mask and then make an anonymous call that place of business is not doing things the right way. So that way, if the health department does come in and issue those type of things, they might change their tune, and things might go a little bit differently. But that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that, Break. I feel bad for Mrs. Brakeman. Everybody's going through the same shit, like Bernie's been working through this whole pandemic, and they just now have said that the workers have to wear masks, and supposedly the people that going in are supposed to wear masks too. That's the order. The Denver order that they got is, if you go into a place of business, you have to be wearing a mask. That's the ordinance. And their place of work is not taking it seriously. They're letting people walk in. And I told her, I was like, if you're the manager on duty, you have the right to say, get the hell out of my store without a mask.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Now, I heard.
Well, there's a. Go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
I heard that the schools in our state are opening, but they'd only be open 2 days out of the week. But 1 day's too much. They shouldn't be going at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, we're still trying to figure out what's going on with graduation. Like my nephew actually graduates.
Freak wants to know if I tried the
this week.
fudge brownie M&Ms. I didn't know they existed, so I'll have to look for them.
It sounds delicious. But I was gonna say, like, some of the other things they're supposed to do, they're supposed to clean all their tools and stuff after each time they cut somebody's hair. You know? No, they're not doing anything like that.
If
I
I
should be doing that out of principle anyway.
Well, yeah, they should be doing that anyway. But this is a mom and pop shop, like you said, so they're just. Wow.
if I'm Mrs. Brakeman, and you can afford it, I know right now is not the time because of pandemic. If I'm her, I'm quitting. I'm waiting till this thing is settling down. I might search out that remedy though, the lawyer remedy /
Yeah, I don't know. Like this is the kind of people that you'd probably win against them in court, but they'd still never pay.
Oh,
well, that's fine.
Here.
But see, there's remedies though to that break. Like, if let's say Mrs. Brakeman did sue, right? Let's say that she sued and won, right? Let's say a judgment for, I don't know, $50,000, let's say, and they didn't want to pay. Well, you could put that $50,000 on their business, and they could get garnished, just like a regular person could get garnished for a debt. They could garnish their money, and she would eventually get it one way or another. Or another alternative is they just close up shop, which would be another good thing. Like if they don't care about the general public, why should they be in business? And that might be a moral victory, and it might not help you monetarily. But I'm sure Mrs. Brakeman's talented enough; she could get a job anywhere. You know what I mean? That's
the problem with that. She's built up a customer base and the clientele, stuff like that. Like she leaves, she completely loses everything. She has to start over.
Well, then maybe she has to start planting the seed. I'm going to start my own business and maybe run it out of your house for a short time before she can get some space. I mean, I know how that shit does, man. Like seriously, I've seen stuff like that before, Brakeman, where somebody breaks the rules, the business gets shut down, and you're out of luck, right? Well, especially in hair clientele, if people like what Mrs. Brakeman does, which obviously they do, they go to it. It was like me when I was a bud tender.
Well, see, there's another problem here. Most of her clientele are senior citizens. It's hard for them to travel. So, this is. They're endangering the lives of senior citizens.
Yeah, that's terrible. Maybe she can.
Vulnerable. Her clientele base is vulnerable.
What about Mrs. Brakeman opening her own traveling studio, where she goes to them?
It's different.
Type thing. I mean, I'm serious, dude. Like, this is nothing to take like lightly. I mean, this is bad shit. If that business doesn't care about her or her clients. Why should her clients care about going there? And if Mrs. Brakeman opened up her own thing where she went to her clients as opposed to them that might be a benefit to them.
Yeah, that's different. That's a different idea entirely.
Yeah.
Because it'd be hard for her clientele to go someplace else.
Right.
Some of them she even has to drive and pick up.
Well, see, if she's doing that anyways, Brakeman, tell her to start her own business. She could do an LLC for $50. $50, she could start her own fucking business and start treating these people the way that they should be treated, not going into a place that doesn't give a fuck about their health or their safety. Fuck.
I don't want her there either.
It'd be like
ridiculous.
butt cuts, but for other people.
Yeah.
Not animals.
And if she takes the proper precautions, like Bernie works at a pizza joint, right? And she has a mask, she has gloves, she does all the right. If you do all the right things, it cuts down the probability of you getting that virus like 100-fold, man. Like seriously, she could do it right, man. It's something to think about, Break. Like if her business doesn't give a fuck.
Theme song.
Most
you got some funky hair in your neighborhood. Who you call?
Break's Sisterhood of Traveling Haircuts. Wyland says. Freak Pie says he's been watching 80s DuckTales on Disney Plus. It holds up. She goes to them and cuts their hair. Yeah, it seems reasonable to me, man. And it doesn't seem like a big jump. You know what I mean? She could even. once she does that break, she could write off shit like gas mileage and car expenses and all kinds of shit, man. That opens up a whole new world. I know it's scary, but man, it sounds like she's the perfect candidate to just start her own fucking thing, because it sounds like she obviously cares a lot more than her fucking place of work does. So, it's like, ugh. I mean, who wants to get a haircut at some place that doesn't care about their health, I mean, just so stupid. I don't know. And it's just food for thought, man. I don't know. All right, Break. Any other sweetos you got?
Huh.
Did we lose Break? What happened? No, I think he's just on mute. He probably had to step away for a second. It's all good. So, Eric, you have a sweeto?
No.
All right, I do. I saw the Unreal Engine tech demo, and tech demos are tech demos, and they are what they are. They always look really, really nice, but I was very impressed with it. I thought the environments looked excellent, and if these are the type of games that are going to be coming, I'm totally
Someone
down.
basically already redid that entire demo in Dreams.
Yeah, that's fine. But it looks good. It looks really, really nice, and I mean, it's something to look forward to in the Unreal Engine. We'll probably get games like that probably 3-4 years into the next.
At the end of the life cycle.
No, I'm not even thinking that. I'm thinking like 3-4 years into it, and we'll be getting. I mean, if another game I'm gonna be talking about is Ghost of Tsushima. The gameplay of that looks excellent, Eric. Like, it's another open world type deal, and you know how I feel about open world type games, but this one looks absolutely fucking gorgeous, man. Like they I don't know if you saw it, but they did a little bit of gameplay and kind of showed you the open world in a way, and man, I'm really
I didn't
impressed.
watch the entire presentation, but I watched Jim Sterling's commentary on it.
It looks great. It's beautiful, man. I mean, and that's Ghost of Tsushima is probably indicative of the last of this current gen type games, but it looks really, really fucking good. I mean, it just looks good. Dungeon says, I'm worried about future download sizes at the quality for physical releases. I guess we can look forward to multi Blu-rays, like multi CD-ROMs in the good old days. I'm not thinking.
Otherwise, you're like looking at over a gig or 100 gig downloads. I mean,
I look. I'm not even worried about any of that, Dungeon Buster, because there's always going to be some way of counteracting that. Like, I think 4K disc might be the way now to kind of counteract that in a way. Maybe 8K. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think we're going to have to go to multiple disc, but I know Sony, and I'm pretty sure Xbox is thinking the same type of thing. Microsoft, like multiple storage units, like for digital games. I mean, I think we're one generation away from, just no physical releases, which I'm all for. The only problem that I have with it is we're kind of at the mercy of all of our cable carriers, and until they can understand that they're going to have to let up on their restrictions on how much you can download. I know,
get rid of data caps.
I know, yeah, get rid of data caps. If they got rid of data caps, we'd all be aces right now. We wouldn't have to
They
worry.
shouldn't be treating a cable line like a phone line. They shouldn't even be doing that for a phone line.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I actually think that internet should be government run and not it should be a utility, not a for-profit motive type thing. I always bag on Comcast, but one good thing that they're doing during this pandemic is they did have no data cap. So I mean, I think they kind of knew that they would be getting an influx of people streaming and downloading and stuff like that. So that's, I mean, I wish they would just do that permanently. No more data caps, period. So I don't know. Dungeon says Ghost of Tsushima. How do you say it, Dungeon? Because we've been having this debate. I saw the demo and they were. Hang on, Eric. I'm asking the audience. They were saying something like Tsushima, which sounds different, but probably better than Tsushima, which is what I've been saying.
Better. It's just
It sounds better to me. I don't know. It sounded more Japanese to me. I don't know. I was looking into different ISPs. Yeah, see, Wyland, it's all about data cap. If we can get the data cap removed, then it really wouldn't matter, like how many gigs games were, because we could just download them while we're at work or whatever. Freak says games should be sent on USB drives. Yeah, that would be an idea.
We still have to worry in terms of hard drive space, but they just can make larger hard drives for cheaper.
I guess from what I'm hearing, Sony has a really nice solid state drive and with the ability to add more. So that's really cool. All right, we got Breakman back. Breakman, your Sweeto of the week.
Oh, Sweetos?
Yes.
I don't really have one.
Okay. All right.
I think it's weird that the Series X is using some proprietary memory card stuff.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you learn the lesson that Sony made with the Vita?
Yeah. Wyland says there's a house I was looking at that's 40 minutes from me now, and the best ISP is Comcast. See, that's the thing, Wyland. The best ISP here is Comcast. I wish there was competition, but there isn't. And when it works really well. Like today, I was looking at the speed I was getting. I was getting like 568 megabytes downstream. So that's really, really good. Freak 5 says Absinthe is good if you like black licorice, and I am not a fan of black licorice. And I have had Absinthe, and I'm not a big fan at all. Just like I don't like Ouzo and a lot of those Greek based drinks because they taste like black licorice. Wyland says he's on fiber right now. Why? Fiber's great, man. Fiber's the best you can get. It's better than.
I can't get it right here though.
Yeah, I can't get fiber here.
Like, unless I want to pay for a business account from fucking Spectrum and pay $100 a month, which I'm not gonna do.
No. All right, let's move on to our free for all.
It's a free for all.
Okay, this week's free for all. There was a viral video going around called Plandemic. It's basically a video for a upcoming documentary about this woman who's a virologist who is basically saying this was planned, and a bunch of other stuff about how this virus was a mutation of. Let me take a quick peek. It was. It's a piece of propaganda, basically. So if you see this Plandemic thing, I wouldn't take it too seriously. Like, it's not. I'm trying to find the word that was used here. Oh, retrovirus, right? And it sounds very credible at first when you first take a gander at it. Retroviruses are a thing. Like, you can. They have a ton of retroviruses at the CDC, for instance, which they find in like frozen things or like fossils and other type things. But basically, this woman was saying that this whole thing is just planned, and that's why they call it Plandemic, et cetera, et cetera. One of the points was that Fauci is kind of like. Hiding things, and vaccines and all this type of shit causes Alzheimer's, and all these absurd like claims that this documentary is doing. But there was an article, and I'm gonna go ahead and post the link into the chat here.
I already did it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put that back in there if you could for me, Eric, while I speak about it. But basically, it's relying on one scientist that says that she did a study, which, if anybody knows anything about science, one study is not the end-all tell-all. If you can replicate the same results over and over by other people doing other studies that are unbiased and aren't paid by the pharmaceutical companies and stuff like that, then you might be on to something, right?
Never mind about the fallacy of begging the question.
Right. So one of the claims was COVID-19 was created in a lab, which is absolutely unfounded. That's been debunked repeatedly, et cetera, et cetera. So And instead of getting into the gist of this, I want to talk to you guys about a bigger problem, and it's propaganda. Breakman, Trump always talks about fake news, right? Mm-hmm. But he uses fake news wrong, right? There is such a thing as fake news, and it's propaganda, right? When you start seeing things like this that kind of try to change your opinion about something that is very, very serious. COVID is no joke, right? Mm-hmm. I literally thought I was going to die, guys. Like, I could barely breathe. I was having a hard time. Like, even driving to the emergency room, I had to drive myself because I didn't want to get Bernie sick. I was like, I want you to stay away from me. I don't want you sick. I think I suspect that I got this fucking virus. So, I drove myself, and that was the task. Trust me, I had a hard time, man. But I got there, and I was in serious trouble, what I thought was serious trouble. So they didn't think that I was, and I went home, and a couple days later I felt slightly better, but still, like and they told me as much, that I had the virus. So when you start seeing things that downplay the seriousness of a pandemic, I start to get wary of things. And when you see things like this plandemic type thing going around, it's all propaganda. Propaganda in itself is fake news, all right? And that's the bigger overarching thing that I kind of wanted to do with this. Eric brought this.
Why some people call Fox News faux news.
Yeah, Fox News is a perfect example, although I think CNN and MSNBC are also propaganda in a different way. Mm-hmm. Fox is called faux news for a reason. I mean, they spread a bunch of lies constantly over and over, and it's
the whole station's called Fox News, but only about half of it is actual news.
Usually the local stations.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, the Fox News channel itself, they have the evening stuff. They have Tucker Carlson, but he's not news. He's an entertainer. But during the day, they'll have actual news programs and actual news journalists.
Yeah.
But they still put a spin on everything, not to the point of the Tucker Carlsons who are just flat out lying.
Who's the worst on Fox News?
Yeah, but I think that's what most people pay attention to.
And
right, they do.
Right,
because that's what they are just looking to be confirmed in what they already believe. They believe Democrats are evil and Republicans are good no matter what.
Right.
Type thing.
Right. Freak5 says, I had someone while talking about Plandemic who said, follow the money. I didn't get a response when I asked. You mean the money the person who made this will get because she is trying to sell a book? That's exactly propaganda. Freak5, it's a perfect example.
This is like the 9/11 truth shit all over again.
Yeah, Weiland brought up a good point. He said Fox, CNN, and MSNBC isn't news. It's news entertainment. That's exactly.
All these channels have their own. They do have news, branches. They do have investigative reporters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they all still spin it towards their own goal, and then all of them have their what's that? Chris Matthews on MSNBC, and then Tucker Carlson always use, or Laura Ingraham, who's definitely mentally ill. What's that one woman who's always drunk?
Jeanine Pirro.
Yeah. She's always drunk on there.
It's and it happens.
None of those people are journalists.
Yeah,
they're the ones who get the most attention, the most eyeballs.
I'm more of a journalist than
I believe them.
Yeah, here's an example, Breakman. You know how badly we feel about Joe Biden, right? I mean, you should see the fucking spin that CNN and MSNBC are they are fucking burying Tara Reid, which is a fucking shame. It's bullshit. Freak5 says the same person told me I don't need to worry because the average age of people dying is the ages people die of old. Are you fucking kidding me?
If you worked at Fox, you'd be drunk too. Yeah, either because you'd be so depressed that you're working for the place and you don't have another job that you go to. Because you're so rich that you got all the good stuff.
Yeah, Freak5.
Drinking all day and they allow that, I might go work for Fox News.
Yeah, exactly. Freak5, those are the type of people I wouldn't give 1 minute of my time. They are literally worthless people. Worthless. Wyland says, just like WWE is sports entertainment and not sports, if you worked at Fox, You'd be drunk too, probably. Freak 5 says, I told him I'm worried about giving it to Mrs. Freak, and as you should. I mean, if she has an compromised system, then yeah, of course. More than I'm worried about myself, not to mention fuck what the average age is. If there are 990 years old who dies and 140-year-olds, the average still will be 85. Yeah, it matters not. There are people that have been 20 years old. I know there was like a 1-month-old baby that died. There's people 6, 7 years old dying. Like it's hitting everybody hard. Dungeon says, I miss age of the big three news journals, Brokaw, Jennings, and Rather. Nowadays, it feels like hearing noise on full blast. I mean, back in the day, that news reported news, man. Like, if they kept people accountable. And now, news is not news, man. Like, Trump might be right when he says fake news, but all of it is fucking fake. And you know, the biggest fakers, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, you can add OAN, his fucking love child, OAN.
Oh, yeah. Those are like the OAN and Breitbart, like those are just straight up propaganda. Those are not news.
Absolutely.
Everything they fake stories. They completely make up shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like ONN or OAN?
OAN.
They were heavily into the propagating the whole coronavirus is made in the lab story.
Yeah, and that was debunked. It was not made in the lab.
It's not stopped them. Like, they're heavily into it.
Are you kidding me, Freak 5? That motherfucker, man. He's going. Fuck that guy, man. Fuck that guy all the fucking hell, man. Like, he's a.
Are you talking about Howie, or are you talking about that co-host of yours from the Zombie podcast?
He's a fucking worthless piece of shit. If he's.
I don't even want to mention his name.
Don't say his name. Don't say his fucking podcast. He is a worthless. Now that confirms everything that I've ever felt about that guy and dealt with that guy, Freak 5. He is a worthless piece of fucking pile of goddamn shit. And I don't give a fuck if he hears this, because fuck that guy. He's worthless, man. I can't. You know what? It's so fitting that that's the guy. That's the guy that said all that shit, Freak 5. He's worthless, man. Fuck that guy, man. What a piece of shit. He's a worthless human being, and he doesn't deserve to breathe the same air that anybody else does, man. If he got hit in a fucking train and died, I'd be like, whew, yeah, one less piece of shit on the planet. Yay. Yay me. Yay planet. You know, save the air for somebody else who fucking deserves it, man. What a fucking pile, man. Like I said, he's not worth 5 seconds talking to that guy, Freak 5. You're infinitely better than that guy to even be.
Wait, how did he even get a combo with him anyway?
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Fuck that guy, man. He's so
How
worthless.
did he do it? What happened now? I'm confused.
Okay, remember the story I was telling you about Freak 5 who was arguing?
I know all about him and his evil ways.
That's the guy that was arguing with Freak 5 about the pandemic and how...
Oh,
yeah.
I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah, that's the guy. That guy. Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong guy? Ugh, well, good.
Not that guy.
Well, that guy's still worthless, but maybe not as worthless as what I just said. But, man, you're going to have to tell me offline, Freak 5, or put it in chat. There's not a lot of people. I won't.
I was wondering, like, how did he run into him, or was he online?
Fuck, I don't know, man. I mean, that's what I was thinking, Freak 5. I'm probably thinking of the wrong guy, but put into chat, man.
You can tell us all about the stalker stories again, though. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's about all we got time for, everybody. It's I just noticed we're up against it here. So, Breakman, let's do your plugs.
You can follow me at break_man, where you can listen to this.
Oh, God damn it! Fucking exiled, man. I'm walking off this fucking show, man. First, I get all riled up, and then you do that to me, Breakman. Really? Son of a bitch, man.
My skills with the harmonica are improving, though. What are you upset about? Like, I played you that nice little melody I just wrote.
Actually, they are improving. I'll give you that, Breakman. You're still...
I was just kidding. Okay,
still an ass.
The pandemic's teaching you how to use the harmonica.
It isn't SF. Okay.
Harmonica mea mea.
Harmonica energy greater than 9,000, Dungeon says. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ,
9,000
man.
on the
Is that all you got, Breakman?
No, I got this too.
Okay. I was gonna say I didn't even get any fucking cowbell with that, but whatever. Michael Caldwell of the I don't have any problems with that guy. I don't even know that guy, man. Really. So
Why didn't he like you? What did you do?
I know. What did I do, man? Jesus. All right. Okay. Let's see. Eric, your plugs, please.
You can find reviews on sites I've written, such as BostonBastardBrigade.com, TotallyGI.com, VogNetwork.com. In fact, I got 2 reviews on Totally GN this week for G-Lock, the Sega Ages release of G-Lock Air Battle, and the Yakuza Remastered Collection. And if you like what I run, sending me those little as $1 to my Patreon would help me out.
You guys should really read Eric's reviews. Like I think you're a better writer than reviewer on this show, Eric, because your written reviews are a thing of beauty, man. Like you have a good way of writing about games and stuff like that, and you give a little less away in your written reviews than you do your oral reviews. So that's cool, man. So, all right. Anything else, Eric?
Yeah, if you want to go on my Patreon, it's on my Twitter profile, which is @EricRPG.
All right. Thanks to everybody in chat.
Brace is like his words is real.
Thanks to Freak5, Wyland, Dungeon Buster was in there. Thank you guys so much. I want to say in a couple of months we're going to have episode 600, a little over a couple of months, and we will be giving away a game of your choice, so make sure you be in chat. I'm still working on getting a celebrity guest to ask the question that I have for that prize, so make sure you're here for episode 600 live in chat, Friday, 7 Eastern, YouTube, Twitch. I know there was some Twitch issues, but you can get us one of 2 ways, so there you go. You can follow me on Twitter @FrankBranches, and any of the systems, RP Grinders on Nintendo, Sony, or Xbox. And so that's that. So thank you guys so much for listening, all the archive listeners, all that stuff. Anything else, everybody? Anything else?
He says he's part of the Zombie Radio Network.
Don't give him a plug. Don't give that piece of shit a plug.
I'm sorry. Well, in the chat a few years ago, I had mentioned his show, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but didn't like you was the essential part of it.
He doesn't even. I don't even know the fucking guy. How does he fucking not like me?
To listen to you and just
Well, guess what? Fuck that guy, and fuck that show, and fuck that network. Fuck them all. Fuck that guy. He doesn't.
He hates us too, Frank.
Well,
Thanks.
fuck
You remind
him.
me of that meme that they took of the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah,
Where they just
and
put,
you know
"Fuck
what?
this thing,
He's
fuck
welcome.
that thing."
Look at this. He's welcome to come on the show and explain exactly why the fuck he doesn't like me. And I bet it's because his piece of shit co-host told him all kinds of stupid bullshit that makes no sense. So fuck Michael Caldwell. Fuck that quote unquote network, and fuck that show, and fuck him. Fuck them all. Sorry. Go ahead. Break.
Wow, you were really angry there. I'm gonna tone it down a little
Fuck
bit.
that, man. Like, why would he even say something like that? He doesn't know me. Fuck that.
Maybe listen to the show a couple times. And it's like, Jesus Christ, I don't know
Doesn't
which
like
one I
me.
hate more.
Fuck that guy. Fuck him, man. Anyways, anything else?
Wait, what were we talking about?
Anything else? You guys have anything
No,
else?
that's it.
All right. Thanks so much for listening. Stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we're out.
Wow, this is really hard to try and get this song up on. Really hard.
Sorry about that rant to everybody in chat,
No, it
but
was
fuck,
fine.
fuck that guy, man. He doesn't even know
God,
me.
man.
Harmonica slimes.
Fucking A, man. God damn it. Hey, everybody in chat, thank you guys so much. Really do appreciate